Excellent, excellent. So the party will find themselves after having made their way to the Realms Tower, which you should be able to see right now with a map. Um, the Realms Tower is um, basically where the Academy is located. So everybody over the past couple of weeks has made their way there, and we'll go ahead and start there. So the Emporium Academy is a prestigious institution situated in the Realms Tower, one of the most significant Spelljammer ports within realm space. This extraordinary location lies on Phandos, the fifth planet, which is covered in a literal sea of floating, shifting rocks. Phandos is predominantly inhabited by a vibrant mix of orcs, dwarves, and humans who coexist in a delicate but functional harmony, each contributing uniquely to the innovative culture of survival on the treacherous planet. The Realms Tower itself is a marvel of arcane engineering. It is an immense artificial structure suspended high above Shandos's perpetually shifting rocky ocean by a colossal magical artifact known as the Aether Heart. This artifact generates an unending otherworldly force that defies gravity, keeping the tower aloft despite the ever-changing terrain below. The tower serves as a hub for spelljamming activity, attracting travelers, merchants, and other spelljammer crews with Emporium business from across the multiverse. Its architecture is a blend of elegant magical craftsmanship and sturdy practical design, reflecting the diverse influences of orcish ingenuity, dwarvish precision, and human adaptability that went into its creation. At the very heart of the tower, the Emporium Academy thrives as a beacon of learning and magical prowess. It offers unparalleled training in spelljamming, arcane studies, and interplanar navigation. Jammer ships from across the cosmos regularly dock at the Realms Tower's sprawling, gravity-defying docking bays, which are equipped with advanced arcane mechanisms to accommodate vessels of all shapes and sizes. Over the last week, all of you arrived via various ships and transports at the main dock, where you've stayed up until today. During this time, you've already started to hear rumors about the Academy, the Imperium, and your classmates. Today, this becomes your new life. Today is your welcome assembly to enter the Academy. You arrive in a large lobby off the Spelljammer dock, where you've been ushered into benches with the promise of a plain jamming career and a hefty 2,000 gold piece bonus for completing your training in first mission. So as you all gather there at the Realms Tower, you will be greeted by Magistrate Marvin. You should be able to see her picture now, I believe. Can
Yep.
everybody see that?
Yes.
She is Elven, and you can certainly see the influences of Shu Lung on her uniform. Uh, Shu Lung being a major spelljammer country on the planet of Teril in the continent of Karatur. Welcome, cadets, to the Spelljamming Academy. I stand before you today not as magistrate, but as a fellow traveler on the Sea of Stars. Each of you has journeyed far, some across worlds, others across the very fabric of reality, to reach this place. Here, within these hallowed halls, we do not merely study the arcane arts of plane jamming, we live them. We shall chart courses through the astral sea, brave the perils of wild space, find paths through sigil, and unravel mysteries that lie scattered like glittering jewels across the cosmos. The path ahead will be challenging. You will face trials that test not only your prowess, but also the strength of your spirit and the bonds of your camaraderie. And it is through these trials that you will forge yourselves into true Imperium plane jammers, capable of navigating not just the sea of stars and the plains of the multiverse, but uncharted territories within yourselves. Embrace this opportunity, cadets. Learn from the seasoned instructors who will guide you, support one another, and never lose sight of the wonder that brought you to the Academy in the first place. The universe awaits, and it is yours to explore. Now, allow me to introduce you to your instructors. First, allow me to introduce Master Sergeant Lifton Graves. Master Sergeant Graves is responsible for your training over the next several days and weeks, and he will be your primary contact for your time here at the Academy. Planeswalker Bim will be your guide to the planes. He will teach you how to navigate across them and stay safe with the dangers of places like Sigil. Captain Midas Drybold, Captain Garnoth, and Captain Fidris Maycomb will bring their experience as captains aboard Emporium Planejammers ships to bear, and may you learn much from them about the practicalities of plane jamming. Quartermaster Clank will ensure that you have the appropriate supplies for your time here at the Academy. Master Helmsman Merrick Wind to provide you all the guidance you need in the navigation and operation of a Planesjammer vessel. Maestro Miriam Willow will give you verses in the magic that we use and the alchemy that keeps us alive across the astral sea and the planes. Engineer Bjorn, he will teach you about the mechanisms of Planejammer ships. And finally, but not least, Master of Arms Phineas Waugh will teach you about combat and defense as members of a Planejammer crew. Now that you have met the Academy folks that will guide you along your path, I will now turn you over to Master Sergeant Graves, who will take charge of your training. Thank you all. Master Sergeant Graves steps up. He is a GIF. You would note that his left arm has been replaced by a mechanical arm. He seems pretty stern, currently as dressed in his formal uniform. He looks out across the crowd and says, well, welcome to the Academy. I have a few points of note before we get started today, and then we will take care of some early business. Checkpoints have been set up in all areas of the Academy. Be prepared to present your clearance. We will take care of your clearance in a moment. Note that any theft within the Academy will result in incarceration and punishment up to and including exile to the service. Given that the planet is mostly water, you better be a good swimmer if you steal anything. Please form two lines, cadets, and we will get you underway. As you make your way to the two lines, the first line that you work your way through, they provide you a map of the Realms Tower. They are careful to note at this point on the map that the clearance level for each of the areas in the Realms Tower is marked next to that area. So, for example, here, looking at this map, you can see that the staff quarters are marked yellow, not allowed, but the training deck, barrack, stores, and combat training areas are all marked red, which is the initial clearance that you'll be receiving. As you make your way through the second line, you will arrive to Maestro Miriam Willow. She'll have you sit down and place your hand on the table. A large piece of glass with a stand is placed over your hand. And she says, so today you'll be getting your clearance. The clearance is a magical tattoo. It won't hurt. And with this tattoo, uh, you will gain access to certain areas of Emporium uh, facilities. And you should see in the top left a picture of what the tattoo looks like as she shows you hers. Can everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
And she says the tattoo will only be visible under a spell or a specific magical device, such as this device here. And everybody today will get red level clearance. So please write that down on your character sheets that you now have a red level clearance magical tattoo for the Imperium. After the various cadets make their way through these two lines and everyone is complete, Master Sergeant Graves will stand back up and say, yes, well, you've all received your clearances now. Please heed the restrictions of your clearance. You are all now ordered to drop any personal items you have at the barracks, and then please report to Quartermaster Clank in the store. Dismissed. And with that, he allows you all to go on your way.
What's going on? Who are you? What? Oh, he's a beholder. You gotta watch them. Map. They gave us a map. We gotta go to the barracks and drop our stuff off, and then meet the rest of these people. I can't believe we're not allowed to steal here. That's really gonna cut into my profits. True.
A rather uh, mischievous-looking Hadozi wanders by about now. He pats Shiv on the back and says, "It's not that we can't steal; it's that we can't get caught stealing." And then he kind of goes on his merry way.
I I immediately start patting myself down to see if he tried to pickpocket me.
Nothing appears to be missing.
Oh, thank God. Fair enough. All right, let's go. I've never been to a school or had any kind of what you might call formal education, and given the fact that you can't remember anything, we're like in the same boat. Do you think prison rule applies? Should we find like the biggest like uh, cadet here and like beat the crap out of him? Ah, allies. Gotcha.
As 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 you're speaking to Shiv about this, or Shiz about this, you notice that up behind Shiz walks up another cadet who is clearly a frost giant. He
It's a
he looks
frost giant, my furry friend.
he looks down at all of you and says, "I am Jungus."
Ah, you were right about the no prison rules.
Jungus. My name is Jungus.
I
Uh,
what
This
brings you to the academy?
trying to find someplace warmer.
Huh.
Is it cold in here, or is it just me?
Ha!
It's Jungus with a J.
What? What if? What if you found a? What if you just you don't need to go somewhere warm. You just need to find a fire giant to stand next to. You guys will even each other out.
I haven't seen any fire giants here yet,
Huh.
but we'll
Yeah.
see in the barrack. I will see you all down there.
Yep. My God, can you imagine fighting him? That was a good choice. All right, let's go. You want to split up? We'll meet everybody, drop our stuff off, see if we can gather some other allies. Yeah, correct.
So is
Ever the
everybody
optimist.
headed to the barracks?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good. As you arrive at the barracks, you could immediately see that there's a number of bunk beds kind of stacked around this room. There's kind of an open common area. Um, each of the trunks has already been labeled with names. Um, and currently, uh, there's a couple people kind of near the entrance that greet you. Um, the first one that notices you is a gnome. Um, currently, kind of standing there, just smoking a pipe. Says, "Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Big, and who are all of you?" Corvus. Ah, high hopes. Well, I wish you much luck with your hopes.
I'm sorry, you said
And the
your
rest
name
of
was
you?
Big?
Bing, Bing, Bangong. I am a gnome from Tyril.
I don't,
Uh,
I don't know what that is.
for for everyone's reference, Tyril is the planet that Forgotten Realms typically takes place on. Faerun is a continent on Tyril. So these are the barracks. Find your chest and put your stuff in it. Nearby, wings flitter as you notice a closet. Does everybody know what a closet is? Small demon. Let's actually jump over to some artwork of the cadets. Can everybody
Oh
see
my.
that? So the Hadozi you met earlier would be Brink. Top left corner. You can see Jungus down there. You just met Bing. And Ficus. There's a picture of Ficus the Quasit. Everybody see those?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. So Ficus takes a look at you and says, "Hello. Greetings. I am Ficus. Ficus is happy to meet new people." Well, maybe 2, 3 feet tall, depending on the wings. He's not very tall. He's probably size small.
Now then, friends, what about a sporting hand of 21 before we repair to wherever we're supposed to go next? Or three dragon ante, anyone?
The red-haired girl looks up at you and says, "Really, really, such such things in the barracks? They already have an arm wrestling contest going in the other room. Such things are not fitting for a person like me. Be around such things."
Well, then go stand somewhere else.
Have you never been on a ship before, or met sailors, or been on a docks? They pretty much all gamble, like top to bottom. I mean, from admirals down to privates, all of them gamble.
I wouldn't know about any of these things. Have you not heard of me? Do you not know who I am? I'm
Mm.
Ivana Bigby. Have you heard of Bigby's hand? That's my great 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 grandfather. He it's an entire family of wizards.
Oh, well,
He,
then you must have a lot of money to gamble.
I have no money that I will gamble with.
Well, we can just play for the sheer joy of it then.
Yes, Bigby. So as you get to the other room, you would see a Goliath and what appears to be a dwarf with no body hair whatsoever, sitting at the table engaged in an arm wrestling competition. They're grunting and groaning, and the others are cheering them on. Behind them, you would see Brink. He seems particularly interested in the outcome. Jungus next to him sits cheering on the Goliath. And various others kind of stand about the room watching and paying attention to the contest. After a moment, oh, go ahead. After a moment, the Goliath overpowers the apparent dwarf. Um, Brink immediately starts calling out, "Oh, oh, you hairless dwarf, I swear! I thought you could do better than that. Look at the size of those muscles. Have you nothing to do with them?" The dwarf uh, replies, "Kirknan, my name is Kirknan, and I am a mule. I hail from Athos." Brink just kind of begrudgingly sits down as Jungus comes over and puts his hand out. Brink puts 4 gold pieces into his hand, and Jungus slips them carefully into his pocket. Everybody give me a perception check. Who's in the room where you can see the arm wrestling competition?
I was just going to make mention that Tornes is going down there as well.
Okay, perfect.
Torbrand is shuffling his cards and not paying attention.
Uh, so, Corvus, you would notice with your perception check that the little child-looking gentleman over in the corner here, the one behind Jungus, he kind of slips up behind Jungus and just palms that 4 gold pieces right out of his pocket. Ivana Bigby, who was speaking earlier, says, "Are are you Sigrid? Sigrid? Is this your name on the trunk?
That's me. And you
I
are.
I am Ivana Bigby of the Bigby House of Wizardry. I'm sure you've heard of my great 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 grandfather. He was the wizard who invented Bigby's hand.
Who?
Ah, you must not be first in the wizardry arts. That's okay. They seem to have made a mistake. They put me on the top bunk. Um, which is it's a danger. If I were to fall and hit my head, I might forget my spell. So perhaps we could switch. Would you mind taking the top bunk?
You'll be fine.
Coward.
Ah, someone of my stature shouldn't have to put up with these things.
Cry about it.
Ah,
You'll be fine. You don't need the bottom bunk.
oh, I I'm sure I'll be fine. I'll just cast Featherfall before I go to sleep each night. He pouts a bit.
Sigrid just she just rolls her eyes and sits on her bottom bunk and doesn't say another word to her.
Hey, you're Dominicus, right?
Yes, I am.
Ah, hey, Shiz. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hey, I don't want to be that guy, but I got a let's call it a little bet going on. What do you I heard you got like banished from your homeworld. What'd you do?
Tell me, is it true that you were blessed with psionic abilities by the Great Serpent? Shiz.
Well, that's what mom always said, but she was always a little what's the word? Drunk all the time, so I don't know. I don't know if I believe it. She says, great great Gramps was, I don't know, blessed by something, could read minds, move objects with his head, that kind of stuff.
I see. Well, to answer your question, I was cast, I was banished from my world for worshipping a goddess by the name of, let me find her name, the goddess of luck. Let us say that.
Hmm.
My homeworld does not take kindly to gods.
Yeah, I've heard some worlds are like that. Yeah, I had money that you murdered someone.
Well, maybe.
Maybe. We just became a lot more interesting, Mr.
I'll never
Dominicus.
tell.
Oh, you'll tell eventually. Once we become friends. Have you met everybody else?
I have seen them and I have heard them speak. That is enough for now.
Hmm, fair enough. Well, if you haven't heard from Corvus yet, you will be. He he's a friendly guy. Likes to talk a lot. He's going to be a captain.
I see.
I'm new to the whole, education thing, so I'm trying to make some friends around here. You should hang out with me and Corvus. Hey, you, Sigrid.
Sorry, I had to check on my cat.
Oh, not a problem. Hey, Sigrid,
She
you should come hang out with us. I like the cut of your jeb. And I pointedly like stare at Ivana the entire time as I'm inviting Sigrid, but not her.
she she kind of just stares for a second, kind of trying to make up her mind as to whether or not she's going to come over. And she does, but she seems reluctant about it.
So I'm Shez. This is my new friend Dominicus. He may or may not have killed a guy.
Hello.
So, did you kill someone?
Maybe.
Cold
In
blooded.
fact, there were multiple someones.
Oh, mass murderer.
That's rough, buddy.
So what are you doing at the academy here, Sigurd?
Just looking for some answers. What are you doing here?
Oh, I got arrested. And the judge was like, you can either do a couple years of hard labor or I can ship you off to the academy. And I'm not what you would call cut out for hard work.
Hmm. What about you, Dominicus? What are you doing here?
Someone told me to come here.
Was it your god?
No.
A rather shy-looking girl, pretty young, comes into the room. She has a weasel kind of wrapped around her neck. She's kind of petting. She says, I'm Eldriana, and this is Beck. Beck's a weasel."
Oh, I didn't know you could bring pets. I left my snake back at the docks. Oh well, I'll get a new one. It's nice to meet you.
I'm a source, and so they decided that it'd be best if maybe I learned more about being a source with the academy, since I have a tendency to set things on fire.
Neat. That could be a useful skill if well developed. Please don't set me on fire.
I sincerely hope that you quickly learn how to not set things on fire when you don't want to.
Oh, I just try to stay calm, and it works out best that way.
The name's
Ivana looks at her.
Torbrand.
Looks at her and says, "I can't believe you brought that dirty animal here."
Only dirty animal I see is you.
Ha! Snap.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Torbrand. Where do you
Torbrand,
come from?
Torbrand Lindenshield, formerly of Neverwinter.
I think I've heard of Neverwinter.
It's on Toril. Couple
Oh,
planets
you're
that
from
way. He
Neverwinter.
points over his shoulder.
I think I read a story about Neverwinter once. Something about a plague. I don't recall. Well, maybe we should all be getting down to the quartermaster. I wouldn't want to upset Master Graves.
Oh
He
my
seems
god, you're right. We got to get to the quartermaster. He's the most important person ever.
What, not even a hand of Luscar poker for anyone before we go?
I'll play with you tonight. Let's go do what we're supposed to before we get in trouble.
I mean, we can, but you should probably learn, the games we play out here, not your whatever you called it. Lust Lustin?
Luscar poker.
I don't know what
It's
that
a favorite of the Pirates of Luskan, who are very interesting people. Not very nice people, a lot of them, but they have good card games. Well, they also have bad card games that involve cutting people's fingers off, but let's not get into those.
Well, I'll immediately start telling him about all of the like spell jamming equivalent games that I would have known growing up on docks as we walked to the quartermaster. And I'll shout out to my, hey Corvus, go to the quartermaster.
If it
It
Your
is kind of
feline
interesting
friend
seeing
isn't
that sort
very.
of thing.
Your feline friend isn't very tactful, is he?
No, he's had brain trauma.
That's fair. I've never been much of one for tact myself.
Only when he gets you something. Quartermaster. We gotta go meet the quartermaster. You know, the important guy. He's the one with the stuff. Yeah, what is Quartermaster Clank? Is he an autonome or a warforged? Or something else?
Um, yeah, you could try to figure that out.
Am I hearing first roll of the game? Well,
I
second roll of the game?
believe you would want to. Oh no, they changed my table. Um, roll in this case, probably a history check would be what you were looking for.
14.
Uh, with a 14, you would know that Quartermaster Clank is a warforged. Um, they they hail from many places across the multiverse, most notably Everon.
Yeah, they're called warforged.
Charming.
Yeah, you'll see him
Okay.
around.
So is everybody headed down to the quartermasters?
Seems so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you make your way down. The quartermasters is not much more than a very large counter, sort of situated into a wooden door with a large warehouse behind it. Quartermaster Clank stands straight and tall above the counter and looks down as you all arrive. Cadets, I have been expecting you. Per Per orders from Master Sergeant Grave, you have all been granted a 200 gold piece stipend.
I'm sorry, what 200 gold pieces?
200 gold pieces.
Man, I should have got arrested sooner.
Hmm. Bit
You
of chump change.
currently, with 200 gold pieces, may purchase any mundane items that you wish. Um, Basically, what this boils down to is you can buy anything in the player's handbook. Um, the uh, the list of items is basically laid out on the counter there, so you can take a look at it. Jungus will immediately kind of step up, parting the way, and say, "Master Clank, I would like to buy some winter clothes." Master Clank goes back, uh, gets them very, very large winter clothes, puts them on the counter, and says, "It has been taken off of your stipend." So, is anybody else looking to purchase anything?
Uh, at the moment, no.
Plank looks at Tarnus and says, "Do you have a crowbar? You never know when you might need a crowbar."
He
He
is
lifts
right, you know.
he lifts up his left arm, and you can see that there is a crowbar, in fact, like permanently attached to his forearm.
Quite charming, but no. I'd rather. I'll persuade someone else to get the job done for me, or I'll just pry it open myself.
Tell
Or
the
I could
quarter.
use another 100 feet of rope, some climbing equipment.
Very good. He goes back into the back. You can hear him talking as he makes his way through the warehouse gathering things. It is important to have mundane equipment. It will never fail you, unlike magic.
Hmm, that's a good point. Any other advice for us, Quartermaster Clank?
Don't steal. And as he says that, he reaches down and pulls up one of the other cadets by an arm who apparently was stealing. You would recognize this person as Millum Rivas. Uh, they were accessing their trunk when you guys were around. Um, Millum appears to be half elf. Master Clank uh, basically drags them up by their arm. Um, Says, "You will report to the magistrate immediately," and he kind of tosses them over the counter. He then turns, writes something on a piece of paper, jams it into a small glass tube, and shoves it up a pipe, and you hear a sucking noise as it disappears.
Pneumatic messages. High tech. You guys are advanced.
We don't like to let things linger for long.
Fair enough. Quartermaster Clank. Frankly, I'm loving everything I'm seeing here. I'm very interested in like the work you do. Is there any is it possible I could maybe take some lessons from you, become an apprentice? Yeah, help
I
around here. I'd love to.
I will be your instructor on day 6 of your training. There may be other opportunities should you complete your training to work with me.
I'd be
Well,
careful though, Frenchies. As we've seen, he doesn't particularly care for thieves.
I'm not a thief, so it's fine. I do give awesome hugs.
Eh, huh.
Hmm.
What?
The
Keep an
person
eye
that
on him.
you notice is Benjalum. You would have caught his name in passing.
Hmm. Also, you should probably stop calling him a naked mule man. Like, you probably should learn his name. He's probably going to take offense to that. Just, something to think about. But I will keep an eye on Pendulum. Skills like that can be useful. Cool. Also, I met Demonicus and Sigrid. Sigrid seems cool. She dunked on Ivana really hard, and I found that hilarious. Dominicus might have killed a whole bunch of people, so Yeah. I mean, we were friendly. Yeah. I don't think so. She's very what's the word? Stuck up. She made fun of Eldriana's pet. So yeah, Eldriana does. It's a little what do you call them?
Some kind of mustelid, I believe.
It's like a mongoose or something. Ferret, maybe. Also, yes,
Possibly a
everyone
weasel.
can always hear you, Corvus. You talk very loudly.
Yeah, I was
It,
gonna ask, can we hear everything you're saying? Have you guys been trying to hide the fact what you are saying?
No, not at all.
Yeah, the vibe I'm getting from Corvus is that when he's trying to be quiet, he's stage whispering, and when he's trying to sneak, he's like very ostentatiously going up on tiptoes, and you can kind of hear the Pink Panther music in your head.
Eldriana puts her hands on Corvus's shoulder and says, "I have a weasel. His
Weasel,
name
that's what
is
it's called.
Vec. He's Vec. V-E-K. Vec. And if you ever harm him, I will set you on fire."
She can with her mind.
Yes, apparently she's quite good at that.
I I'd feed it. You don't need to give it any treats.
That seems reasonable.
That's not going to happen. Vec's not going to save you.
Ah! See, I told you she was cool.
Ominous, I like it.
You
Dominicus
make
will
your
applaud.
way back up towards the barracks. Ficus flies up onto the counter, lands softly, looks at Master Clank, says, "I Ficus would like to buy a potion of healing." Clank immediately starts on a long-winded tirade about how magic is awful. You could never trust it. That whenever you try to trust magic, it will always let you down. That there's always an anti-magic field. As he's going back and getting this potion for Ficus, uh, after this long tirade, he sets the potion onto the counter and says, "I have deducted it from your stipend."
Oh my god, it'd be super useful to have one of those, but there's no way I'm gonna make Master Clank mad.
I'll take 5 potions of healing, thank you.
He gives a loud puff, which for him is a serious effort. Master Torbrand, you should know that magic will always let you down should you trust it. You should be prepared to heal yourself through other means at all times. He continues on this tirade as he prepares
Yeah,
to motion.
exactly. I would like a healer's kit, Master Clank.
He pulls it out from under the counter. It's not back in the warehouse, he says. A very good choice, Master. Shiz?
Yeah, call me Shiz. No one can pronounce my real name.
Nonetheless, if magic does happen to be functioning at any random time, it wouldn't hurt to be able to take advantage of it.
The only magic you need be concerned with is making sure the ship flies. And even that can't be trusted.
Do you have any food?
Food is served in the mess hall.
Okay. Do you have any? I like to cook. I want. Do you have any like raw ingredients I could use?
You may access ingredients to cook when cooking instruction is given.
Out of curiosity, my feline future captain friend, do you have any rope? You should have some rope. Because you never know when you might need rope. It's one of the things my father taught me. And what of your future crew, oh future captain? Can they climb? It could well be. And I may not be as skilled in climbing as you are. That's why I carry rope around. And surely it's the sign of a good captain that if his crew may need rope, he will have rope, just in case.
He points to the list on the counter. The listing gives the cost that's the same as the PHB. Um, as as you do this, uh, Dominicus, you would notice that one of the other cadets is standing there eating, just munching on something. They seem to have a handful of some sort of red berries. This would be Bindulum, the one who kind of looks like almost like a child.
I will go to him. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. May I ask where you got those berries?
They're good berries.
I can tell. Could I have some?
He's standing there chewing. He hands you a couple.
Thank you very much. And I will give him a gold coin in exchange because I do not believe in free items.
Oh, what's this for?
I believe in exchange.
Exchange. I don't know what you mean.
You did say he gave me some berries, right?
Yes,
You gave me berries, I give you gold coin. Very simple.
but the berries are for eating.
And the gold is for buying things.
I don't understand the gold.
give it to the robot man, and he'll give you things.
But if I need something, shouldn't I just take it? Because I need it.
No, no, that's not how things work. That will get you in trouble. People do not like it when you do that.
Give me a history check, please.
I have a feeling I already know what species he is from.
Yeah, you would recognize he's a Kinder. Um,
God damn it.
and specifically, you would know that Kinder don't really understand ownership
Yes.
or trade. They
Yeah.
don't really get that.
I,
So
yeah, I've read the Dragonlance books. I
okay,
know about
yeah,
Kindred.
yeah, he's a Kinder.
I whisper, Taimoy, fucking damn it, under my breath. Listen, people don't appreciate that. It's rude to most people. So try to ask before you take.
I have some gold coins if you want them, if you need them.
I have enough. Thank you. I and I will pop one of the berries into my mouth and start eating it.
It is literally a good berry.
Okay, that's what I thought. Hey, tastes good at least.
Master Clank,
Master Tanakh.
would I be so kind as to get a blank book, some ink, an ink pen, a mirror, and a lock from you, good sir?
Of course. It's always good to maintain a log. You have to keep track of things. You never know what detail might be important.
Quite. And with this bunch, I can only suspect that it is needed.
He places the item on the counter. The amount has been deducted from your stipend.
A pleasure doing business. And Tarnas will acquire the items and head back towards the barracks to go sort it all out.
You know,
Okay.
I'm not sure he likes us.
Who, Tarnas? Or Master Clank?
Well, I'm not sure Master Clank likes anyone, but that's his prerogative. I mean, Tarnas. He was speaking in a distinctly derogatory manner, I thought.
Oh yeah, I've heard about this. See, Tarnas has a very delicate condition. Um,
Oh, please do tell more. I'm very interested in this.
yeah, it's called having a stick up his ass. Once he gets it removed, he'll be much better.
I wonder if we could help him with that.
We might have to.
I'm laughing so much here, but I'm trying not to break character.
Ficus pipes up. So Ficus thinks that some of that rope might be able to help with that problem.
Well, perhaps I should play a few hands of Luscar poker with him first. Get a sense of what he's like. And if
I,
Lady Luck smiles on him.
I mean, it couldn't hurt. Maybe he would relax a little bit. He's probably nervous, like the rest of us. Ficus, though, I love the way where your mind goes. We should talk, you and I.
Yes, actually, Ficus, that reminds me. Shiz, do you have any rope?
Of course.
Good.
Ficus thinks that if you tie one end of the rope to a big rock and you throw it out the window of the tower, that it could solve the problems of whatever's tied to the other end of it in many, many cases.
But alas, not all cases.
I'm not sure what you mean.
I mean, he has a closet after all.
Rope and kits. A wise choice, Master Corvus. I heard that you have aspirations of being a captain. Such wise decisions fare well on your path. The prices are fixed. He points at the list.
Meanwhile, you look over at Chiz and he's like grasping his chest as the pain of hearing fixed prices.
Ah, as you wish, Master Corvus. He places the items on the counter. The amount has been deducted from your stipend.
Uh, what are we, Master Corvus? What are we supposed to? We were told to, get our locker set up, come get equipment. What are we supposed to be doing next?
You have free time this evening, but I should warn you, Master Graves likes to get things started early on the day after you arrive. So sleep. It is
By
foolish those
early, you mean
who
like ninth bell, right? Right,
fifth
right.
bell.
Fifth bell?
And
I
here
don't
I
think
thought
that
you knew
time
something
actually
about
exists.
ships.
Corvus, I'm starting to doubt
Uh,
my ability to make it through the academy. Okay, okay.
uh, Sigrid is gonna go to Master Clank. She's figured out what she wants, and she's go, Master Clank, could I have a healer's kit? What else did I say? Also a rope and some painter's supplies.
Of course, I will get them immediately. He makes his way back, sets them on the counter. And you said painter's supplies? Is that correct?
Yeah, if that's available. If not, that's chill.
He says it is an interesting choice, painter's supplies. Do you fashion yourself a painter of ships?
You could consider it a hobby, I suppose.
I had a captain once who painted in his spare time. He was very calm, right up until the time that the astral dragon ate his head. I do miss that, Captain. The
Oh,
amount has been deducted from your stipend.
thank you. And she's gonna take it, and she's also gonna go back to the cadets' quarters.
Okay. Anybody else with business here with Master Clank? Okay. I'm assuming everybody's going to head back to the barracks then. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Does our what are they called? Lockers? Lock?
There are no locks on the chest.
Wonderful.
It is an empty trunk.
The idea of the trunk, my dear future captain, is that you put your belongings in it. That rope you just acquired, for example. I expect any uniforms we might acquire will be handed out in the morning as various abuse and insults are shouted at us. It's just a guess, you understand. I have known a few bosuns in my time. They generally enjoy shouting insults at people. I've not known so many master sergeants, but I'm getting definite ideas that a master sergeant is kind of like a bosun. So we'll see.
Millum, Millum has returned to the barracks. She laughs at your comment as you talk to Corvus.
Hey, what happened at the with the headmaster?
She looks around and looks at you, and she gives you a wink. You notice as she winks, her eye changes to match exactly what yours looks like, and then goes back immediately to normal. He says, or Millum says, I I had a discussion with the magistrate.
So she didn't throw you into the ocean.
Not for a first offense. I
Cool.
can assure you there won't be a second.
Uh,
What makes you so confident about that, if I may be so curious?
I know that Master Clank can see behind him.
have you ever have you ever you know, I mean, shouldn't you have cased your mark first?
I know my way around Warforged. He's a little different than your typical Warforged. He, in fact, can see behind him. Strange. But now I know.
Huh. Wow. Wait, does that mean you're gonna give up on thieving, or you're just not gonna get caught next time?
Something like that.
I don't know.
Ivana is sitting on her bunk, attempting to cast a spell over and over again. If anybody would like to make an Arcana check, you can see if you can figure out what spell she's trying to cast.
Sure, let's go ahead and do that.
15.
13, I think that's my best roll yet.
7.
I will take a natural 20.
So DC 12, you would know that she's trying to cast Find Familiar, and the spell seems to continually just keep failing. She turns and sneers at you. None of your business. Are you a wizard?
Be, oh, future captain. I
I
suspect that spell
Go ahead.
not in the barracks at any rate. Possibly there are parts of. Sorry, are you guys hearing me?
No, you
Yep.
keep cutting out a little bit, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The my my Discord voice connection seems to be a little bit dodgy. I was saying, um, I suspect that spell's not going to work here in the barracks, at least.
All my other spells work here. I don't know why that wouldn't.
Do your other spells involve summoning creatures?
No, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yes, it does. Did you? I'm pretty sure there was a. I mean, it wasn't exactly comprehensive, but there was a pamphlet that was handed out as we were, traveling here. Did you not read the part about summoning spells being more complicated than you would expect?
A familiar. I want a familiar.
A small, possibly furry animal. I'm going to go out on a limb. I don't know this person very well, but she would probably want a bird.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. I think we've all skipped a part past the most important part. You actually read the pamphlet with all the rules and stuff?
It was very short, and nobody wanted to play poker, so I didn't have much else to do.
Wait, did you not read it?
The
No.
renown of the
No.
Imperium should speak for itself.
Why would I need to read a thing? You just know things, right? Corvus. Of course you didn't. I'm not even sure how you got into this place. Wait, I found you, abandoned, in a life pod. How did we get you into this academy? Why did they let you in?
They must be desperate for recruits. That's how I got in.
Oh,
Same.
yeah, I heard about that big push they're doing in Chult. They got to move a terrace to a moon. Need more people. What? That never happened. No, she gave me it like we. They took us to the mistress. She gave me that whole like thing about like I'm here on probation and that I shouldn't fuck up. And then she asked who the fuck you were. Do you not remember any of that?
I am surrounded by idiots.
There was not a crowd. I'm pretty sure that carpet was mauve.
Kirkton walks in about this time. Kirkton is the hairless dwarf. He says, "Pay no attention to these fools. The Imperium is desperate for crew, and they'll take anyone. From what I've heard, half the people that come through the academy are criminals, and the other
That
half are people like myself, whom the Imperium has saved from far worse fate."
what was your fate?
Why is it so hard for the Imperium to get people? if they're so esteemed.
Oh, the Emporium can recruit people for all sorts of positions, but these plane jammers crews, especially the new ones, lose a lot of people along the way.
The ones who survive are esteemed. The ones who don't are forgotten, I fancy. I tend to be one of the ones who survive.
Yes, Corvus.
My name is Kirknan. I am a mule from Athos. It is a race of species from Athos. I have no hair. I grew up on a desert planet.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Now then, yes. Cards, dice, whatever you fancy. Let's see if the Lady of Luck smiles on you.
Ivog walks in and says, gaming is fine, but they will not allow us beverages worth drinking here. I have heard, though, if you make it through the first section of training, that they'll take you off site to a bar on a nearby port.
Something to look forward to and possibly escape during. But of course I can't run off. I all my gold is at the thing. I gotta need that stipend first. But they're gonna make us get up at fifth bell. What?
Arnes is just going to make a note in the book that he's now having his journal. The ambitions as fools, and he's just
I
going
said
to say that out loud while writing it.
Shiz, meanwhile, just has a horrifying look as he's just staring at Corvus, contemplating getting up that early.
Vicus is not getting up at fourth bell. We're gonna see.
Corvus, if you wake
As,
me up at fourth bell, I will snap your neck.
as you're giving this speech, Sergeant Grave enters the room with a large stack of uniforms. Fancying yourself a captain, Corvus? As you wish. You should make sure that all the uniforms are passed out and pressed every day by fifth bell. I served aboard a plane jammer ship. There are many dangers, some of which you would expect, and some that you don't.
Was that an
My,
astral dragon? Because Master Clank said he knew a captain that got his head bit off by an astral dragon.
no, I wish. No, my arm was bitten off by a beholder. Not Captain Gardoff. I made the voyage to Hakatha. It's a beholder port here in the realms. One of the beholders there got upset at the dealings that we were trying to make with him. I was the lucky one who only lost my arm. Half of the rest of the crew was disintegrated. Sweet dreams, my cadet. I will see you in the morning.
Did anyone else get a chill down their spine when he said sweet dreams? Just me? Alright. I will go behind him and correct all of the mistakes he made.
Lycus is very hard trying to hold up the uniform you gave him, which was obviously for Jungus.
Yeah, I just come out right behind and I switch them, and I'm like, that's why I'm gonna be a quartermaster.
Oh, mighty future Captain Corvus. With your future crew, if you gave them the right uniforms. This appears to be for a 3-foot tall woman.
Oh, there you go. This one's yours.
Alright, I want to open a wager, just with anyone who's willing to take it.
I'll take it. What is it?
Details rather be known first.
If he, sorry, I think my
No.
God, I think my connection's being weird again. Okay. I'll give you 2-1 that Corvus dies before we make it through training, and 5-1 that if he does survive training, he becomes captain. That is to say, I bet 1 gold piece, you bet 1 gold piece. Fuck. Yeah. I bet 1 gold piece. If you bet against me and he survives training, you get 2. I bet 1 gold piece. If you bet against me and he becomes captain, I get 5.
Do you believe in Corvus that much?
Yeah,
Jung,
the wager on.
Jungus. Oh, go ahead.
I'll take. So it's if he survives, we get 2 gold for every one we bet, and if he becomes captain, we get 5 gold for every one we bet. Correct?
No. If he survives, you get 2 gold for every one, and you're betting against me, right? So I'm betting that he will not survive training, and if he does survive training, you get a payout of 2 for 1.
What about the captain one?
Right. I'm betting that if he does survive training, he will be captain.
Ah, I see. I bet 100 gold that he survives.
Ah,
Youngest raises his hand. One question. All bets are off if one of the other cadets kills him, right?
Yes, that obviously that would if one of the other cadets kills him, then that would implicate that they potentially had some interest in the bet, and so if that happens, then all money is returned to better, nobody gets paid out.
Sigrid puts away the gold she was counting after hearing that rule.
Youngest reaches into his pocket and says, I thought I had 4 gold pieces here.
oh, yeah, about that. You should go talk to Ben Jalalam. He just borrowed that. Just ask for it back, and he'll give it to you.
Why is
Tornas is going to go back to his
stealing
book.
not a big deal?
Oh, John goes. It's okay. He's a Kender.
I don't care how young he is.
No, it's his race. He's from a. You've never met one of them or heard about it, but they don't understand. Well, basically anything ever. But they don't really understand like how possessions work.
He cannot conceive that of stealing as a concept, or a private property, or economics for that matter. He just believes everything is everyone's to share.
Perhaps I should go teach him.
You literally can't teach them this.
Okay, but when they catch him stealing, and they will throw him out of the tower, and it will be on you, Captain.
No, I don't think you understand. Like, asking him to stop doing this is like trying to ask an elf, a high elf, to not be magical. It is quite literally not a thing he can do.
I'm sure they know us. And hey, as his fellow crew members, we'll just need to keep the little guy out of trouble. It'll be fine.
You see where I'm coming from? If Lady Luck smiles on him enough to let him through training, then she'll make him captain.
I know. Can you imagine how great Corvus would be without the traumatic brain injury?
I think it'd be a lot less interesting.
Oh, for sure. Bringing up what? Corvus. I don't have to tell anybody. They all already knew.
If Timora smiles on him enough to let him live through training, then who knows what he could accomplish. That's what I'm betting on.
But what's I've heard that saying. What Timora favors fools and children.
Why do you think I'm betting on him?
He's not a child.
What are you?
Well, you're obviously not a child. Look at you. You're like, I don't know. What are you, 40 or something?
Torbran, you know what? I'll humor you and I'll put 4 gold into this bet of yours.
You're definitely middle aged. That's the TBI.
I have a question
Yes.
for the DM. Can I is actually no, I'm gonna Torben. So you worship Timora?
I occasionally ask her to smile on me. I
Really? Because from what I've heard of you, you don't seem very lucky.
I ask her to smile on me. Sometimes she does, and sometimes she laughs at me. That's how she is.
I see. Well, it's good to know that there will be another follower of Timora in the crew.
How does on the you know Dominicus brings up a good point here. Um, this whole luck thing. Where exactly does cheating fall on that scale? Is that lucky or unlucky?
Depends. Are you the cheater or the person being cheated?
Well, I think in Torbrand's case, he would be the cheater who gets caught.
Then you are unlucky.
Ah,
Precisely. If you choose to cheat, then you are tempting Timora for one reason or another.
and you would never cheat Tamara, would you?
I would never cheat Timora. I might cheat someone I was playing a game with, but only if it added interest, or if I really, really wanted to win.
Hmm.
Brink comes over, pats Corvus on the shoulder, and says, "I wish the best for you, my Corvus, Captain, friends, but you're going to get the attention of Garnoff, and that's not going to go well." He hands 10 gold pieces to Torbrand. "There's my bet." He's the beholder.
Actually, that might not be a good thing. I mean, the Master Sergeant was just telling us how, you know, Beholder ate his arm.
Right, I'm gonna let's just make sure that if you're putting gold down, it should go in the Discord so that I can keep track of this. So we've got 4 gold from Tarnas, 10 gold from Brink.
I have also put a note in my character sheet about that.
Corvus, I hope you know that I love you and I totally support you. I'm not going to bet on you because, well, betting's for fools, and you only bet if you're the house. And I'm not in the house. I'm at the house in this situation, so I'm just gonna, you know, lay off. But I totally believe in you, buddy. You've got this. I am gonna make money when you're the captain, but no, I don't bet like unless I'm the banker of the house. Okay, that's the only smart position when it comes to gambling. Ugh, fine, a gold on Corvus surviving and becoming captain.
Millum drops 20 gold pieces on the trunk. Says,
Gambling isn't about winning or losing. It's about putting something in the hands of Timora.
Is that what that
That is
is?
also to quiet down the yammerings that are going on throughout the room.
It's about risking something on the throw of a dice when you don't know whether it will turn in your favor or not. It's about living and forging a legend.
Millum
Uh,
gives poor Brand a wink and says, Corvus, if you're going to be our captain, I think you should speak to Master Graves. There are no less than 8 bunk beds in the other room that are unoccupied. In the very least, they should give us our own beds and trunks, not stack us up like cargo on a ship.
Master Sergeant
Sergeant
Graves.
Graves,
Just a reminder, if Master Sergeant Graves tears his head off, I do win all the money.
I'm gonna look at Milliam and I go, please stop trying to get my friend killed.
That's not exactly what you were just saying. When did that conspicuation come into this?
No, 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 no. I said that if he survives training, you win. If one of the cadets kills him, then all bets are off. Everybody gets their money back. If the Master Sergeant kills him, why then he hasn't survived training. The cadets haven't killed him, and I win.
Oh, in that case,
That's
can I take my bet back?
true. Ooh, all bets are final.
On the
Please
off
bet on
chance of
him.
this, on the off chance of character here, are you in or out?
uh, you know what? I'm putting 10 on he survives, but
Eh.
I'm putting 20 on not becoming captain.
He would rather die.
Kirk, Kirk, Kirkton looks at you and says, I don't care that much to kill you. Ivana looks over the side of the bed and she goes, do you think they're really going to put a cadet in as captain of a ship? Do you know how much these ships cost? They're going to put an experienced captain in charge, not some yahoo they dragged in out of the astral sea. That's how.
You sound pretty sure about that. Maybe put your money where your mouth is?
I'm not betting. I have better things to do with my money, like buy pages for my spell book.
Or figure out how to, cast Find Familiar correctly.
Never risk your luck, and luck will never smile on you.
I don't need luck. I'll
Yeah,
believe it
going
when I
crazy
see it.
side.
And Velker would say the same.
Yeah. 12th bell just rang. It's basically midnight.
Cool, going to bed.
Go to
Let's
bed.
get our heads down while we can.
Tomorrow's gonna suck so bad.
All of us go to bed.
Yes, let's go to sleep. Please stop talking.
Does anybody else want to do
Um,
anything before bed?
I am going to whisper
before
up to Shiz and say, whatever we do, we have to make sure he doesn't talk to that guy, because he will die. And I whisper that to Shiz. Oh, because he's right next to me.
Jez just kind of nods wearily.
before going to bed, Sigrid's gonna like poke Avena on the side in her top bunk and be like, you really don't want the top?
No, it's okay. I'm settled in now.
Is it like a fear of heights or something?
I I just am afraid I'll fall out of bed. I've never had a top bunk before.
she she like sighs really deep. If you really are that worried about it, take the bottom and I'll take the top.
Thank you so much, Sigrid.
Oh, there is one thing that
Mhm.
Tarnas is going to do. He's going to lock his trunk.
Okay. Okay. I think with that we will take a long rest. Woohoo! Not that anybody needs one, but anyway. Um. So Corvus, are you trying to wake up at the fourth bell? Okay. Um. We're gonna see if you actually wake up at the fourth bell, because it literally is just a bell. Ding, 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 ding. So go ahead and give me a con check. In this case, it's going to be a DC 10 con check. Not a save, just a check. Yeah, you sleep right through it. And so about 5 bells, there is a loud booming voice. Sergeant Graves looks out over and says, "Uniforms now!" He gives you a few minutes to get ready, and then he says, "All of you report to the training deck immediately." Ivog says, um, but breakfast, sir? Sergeant Graves goes, "There is no breakfast for any of you. Do you think you're going to get breakfast every day on a Spelljammer ship? What happens when you have to cross a void for 3 weeks on half rations? Get your uniforms on and get to the training deck now. All of you." Mr. Corvus, make this a good question. You have been assigned your books. That has your orders given. You will follow them. There is no further discussion on the matter.
I know that.
Out of nowhere, Shiz just comes and tackles Corvus, like clamping his mouth. We understand. No further discussion.
Corvus, you have a good friend in this man. Listen to his wisdom. I will see you all on the trading deck within 10 minutes.
I think that should count with interference with the bet, but I'm not going to say anything.
Once he leaves, Tarness is going to say, "That's one way to shut him up."
It's I,
No, we were not. We were so far. It's we were worlds away from it. In fact,
it's a rough morning. We're taking a couple L's. You forgot to wake up. You almost got yourself killed. It's fine. We're gonna shake it off. Get to training.
Yes, I love the enthusiasm. I don't think it's going to work, but it's inspiring in a way.
Come on, follow me. I haven't. I was
See,
gonna use
now
the word case, and that's wrong. That's I've scouted. Yes, that's what I've done.
now that was spoken like a true captain. I don't know where we're going. Subordinate officer, do the work for me.
Yeah,
Mm.
he's a natural.
Okay, so you make your way up to the training deck. Um, there are a number of desks. This seems to be some sort of like lecture hall or some sort of thing. Um, Planeswalker Bim is currently at the head of the room. Standing outside as you walk into the room is Master Graves, who nods at each one of you as you pass him.
Thumbs up. I guess I want to be in the background because I don't want to be called on. I was gonna sit next to Jungus, but he gives off cold, and I'm cold-blooded, so I'm gonna stay over here with you. If that's all right.
I guess likes that. So Planeswalker Bim approaches the podium at the front of the hall.
I'll be by Jungus.
Good morning, all. I, as you well know, am Planeswalker Bim. Today we will be discussing the worlds and planes. Um, Everyone should have in the Roll20 forum seen that there is a handout, and I'm going to put the link in Discord chat. Um, Kind of like the intro to the setting. So there's the link. Um, he's basically just going to walk through this. And so I'm going to kind of hit some of the highlights of what he's going to walk through. Um, I want to make sure that in game that everybody has actually read this document because it is kind of important. But basically, there are planes, um, and there's some discussion about the planes. The area that is exists that is not in the planes is called the astral sea. It's sort of the place in between. And so, um, on the material plane, um, you basically go from crystal sphere to crystal sphere. A crystal sphere, think of it as like a solar system, only they're a little bit different than a solar system, slightly. Um, and the area inside of a crystal sphere that's not on a world is called the wild space. The space between crystal spheres is called the astral sea. The astral sea has certain properties. Generally, deities cannot exist in the astral sea, which impacts some of the ways that magic work and that sort of thing. Um, Jumping from plane to plane is done through portals, sometimes called planar portals. Planar portals not only can exist kind of just anywhere, there can be a portal, um, kind of anywhere on any plane that could lead to anywhere else in the planes. Also appear naturally in the astral sea as colored pools. Um, so you can actually use the astral sea not only to travel from crystal sphere, which is spell jamming, you can also jump through these portals to go to different planes. Um, there's some discussion of basically on how this works. One of the key places that you're going to run into when you travel through the planes is Sigil. Sigil is a location where there's a very, very large concentration of planar portals that lead all over the place. And so from that perspective, it's kind of a major interconnection point. Sigil's a very unique place. The talks a little bit about that. Um, the other thing that's mentioned is that, what do you get as being part of Emporium? Basically, Emporium, you get um, when you become a full member um, with your tattoo. You basically get safe travel aboard any Imperium ship. You get room and board at any Imperium ship or facility. You can also get discounted purchases on items and services at Imperium storefronts. They will also give you free transport of your soul to the plane of your choosing upon death, which may include extraction from the fugue plane, so they make sure that you're taken care of in the afterlife. And you also get access to Imperium libraries, scrolls, maps, books, that sort of thing. The Empyrean is very well known for their maps of the crystal spheres, of the astral sea, and of the planes. Um, the most important part of it is the code. Um, Going through the code, basically, piracy is not allowed. It is strictly forbidden. And defined as taking goods without um, reaching an agreed compensation. Uh, Taking goods from the living. Um, we can talk later about legitimate salvage. Imperium members may use whatever means necessary to prevent harm to themselves, other members, and the property of the Imperium. Um, Generally, the Imperium doesn't want anybody to die in the Astral Sea because their soul may be lost, so that's a very important thing. Um, Generally, you shouldn't be causing harm or killing anything, except protecting the Imperium and its members and its goods. Um, Anything that is an Imperium matter should not be told to someone who's not in the Imperium without authorization from a magistrate. Um, and generally, you need to follow orders. Um, the other thing that's kind of a standing order is that you're not supposed to give spell jamming or plane jamming to people that haven't developed it on their own. So, if you land someplace, you don't want to teach them how to build spelljammer ships or stuff like that. So that's generally what's in that document. Definitely, as you have time outside the game, please take a read of that document. It covers some important aspects of plane jamming and plane hopping and spell jamming and all those sorts of things. So, any questions on any of that?
I don't really have much of questions because it pretty much summarizes it pretty well. Though I have a dumb, curious, silly question.
Okay. Is it something you want to ask the DM, or is this something you want to ask Planewalker Bim in game?
Um, it's more to the DM because I don't think that
Okay.
Planeswalker Bim would have really an answer. Um, what if the undead have a trade ship and you go there and take the cargo from the trade ship? Is that considered piracy?
They have to be living, so undead are
Yeah,
not
but what if the
included in that.
undead were running a trade ship?
Then you can steal from them, and it's not piracy per Imperium code.
Cool. That's all.
Yep. They don't recognize undeath as a valid state for trade. So yeah, that's written exactly that way for that reason.
Okay.
So yeah, if you run across a vampire ship, take everything you want. The Imperium's okay with that. The vampires might not be, but hey, that's the way it goes, right?
Tough luck for them.
Okay, any questions for the DM or any questions for Planeswalker Bill? Corvus, yes, Master Corvus. What is your question? Master Grave is in charge of anything to do with the barrack. Thank you, Master Corvus. Does anyone have any relevant questions to the topic?
Not immediately, although I'm sure I'll relish learning more about legitimate salvage in the future.
Yes, we will get to that on day 7 with Captain Garnoff. Uh, in matters such as legitimate salvage, Captain Garnoff has a great deal of practical experience that he can share with you.
Well, actually, I suppose it is worth asking this one thing. If we are attacked by dastardly foes and forced to defend ourselves, I presume it's allowed to, if we leave their vessel without living crew, take anything of interest from said vessel.
We will leave this topic for day 7. But generally, legitimate salvage as a initial requirement requires that there be no living being alive associated with the cargo or salvageable items. So, if that condition were to occur due to defending a ship per the code, that would be potentially valid. Captain Garnoff will cover this further.
I do have a question about the flow, if you're able to answer. I'm looking through what you've handed out, and I'm seeing something called the weird, and I'm not also don't see an explanation for what that is. What is it?
Just one second. Let me refer to the document. Can you tell me where you read that? Which section?
I'm looking at. I did not read it. I'm looking at the map. Um, that is part of it. The figure two, the flow, and there's this black area called the weird.
Ah, yes. Um, just one second. The weird is the Vandani name for a dark region which forms a barrier between crystal spheres. It is sometimes as a dark region um, considered as if it were an emanation of negative energy. So far as the Imperium knows, um, the weird is an area to be avoided. Strange things have happened in this dark region, and many ships have been lost. Um, this shows you, Master Dominguez, that our charts are one of the most important things that the Imperium has. They keep us safe as we traverse between crystal spheres.
I see. Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
To the DM, do you have a bigger version of the map there or the figure two?
Yeah, we will get to bigger versions of that map when we get into it.
Okay, cool. That's about the only thing.
Okay, no worries. All right, then, cadets, we will now take a brief break for lunch. Um, it is now 12 bells. We will reconvene uh, on the combat deck where Master Graves will be taking you through athletics and acrobatics today. Please do not overeat. Master Graves does not appreciate vomiting on the combat deck. Good day to you all. So from here, there is basically a mess hall. I do not have a map for that currently, but you can all make your way there, and all the other cadets are there, basically getting something to eat.
Is it time for lunch? Okay.
It seems that they are uh, serving some sort of white, grainy porridge for lunch today. Um, it's not particularly appetizing, um, but there seems to be as much of it that you can have to eat as you'd like.
I knew I forgot to get something from. Oh wait, never mind.
I wonder if Clank would have had some salt.
Spices
I asked for ingredients. He said no, he did not have them.
From, you can last from here to Judgment Day if you've got enough rosemary.
are. The other cadets seem to be settling in. You might catch notice that once again, Benjamin has a handful of berries that he has plopped on top of his uh, rather bland-looking paste.
Hey, Pendulum, bury me.
He hands you a couple berries.
Nice.
He hands you a couple as well. Okay.
Tarnas is he's going to go sit next to Jungus.
Okay. Jungus is wearing not only his normal uniform, he also has these winter clothes on, and he seems to be half shivering while he's trying to eat. You can call me what you'd like, but my name is Benjamin. Yeah, I found them in his pocket. He didn't seem to be using them. No, I have plenty of berries. I can make more.
Also, he did give you some berries, so yeah.
I don't understand. But how do I know who to ask? I sat at this bench. I sat at this table. I'm in this room. Do I have to ask people to do that? Okay. So if they have it in their pocket, I have to ask them. But if they have it like on their at one of the trunks at the end of the bed, I don't have to ask because it's not theirs because they don't have it. Okay. I make berries. I like to eat the berries.
They are
I
very
was a
filling.
I was a farmer, but I can't farm here.
You could farm the ocean. It's called fishing.
That's the kind of farming I did.
Yeah, fair enough.
I farmed the land.
But not the sea.
We didn't have any sea where I was.
Where
Just land.
where
Lots
you
of land.
where are you from?
The countryside?
Do you know what planet you're from? What it was called? Are you from a planet?
They told me I came from gray space.
Do I have any idea what that is? Let me rephrase that. Me as a
Um,
player, I have no idea what that is.
um, you would. Well, let's do this. You could do probably history would be the best one.
It's a hot 10.
Yeah. So having heard the name Kinder, you would know that Kinder come from Kryn space. Um, it's one of the crystal spheres that's in near space. It's nearby.
Oh. Hey. So I think Grayscale is in Kryn's space?
He seems to be confused.
Oh.
Um, Kryn space is basically the home to the Dragonlance setting in D&D.
Gotcha.
Gray space is a home to Greyhawk, but he doesn't seem to know the difference.
Neither would Chiz, so he's just like, okay, cool. Why'd you come here? Why aren't you still farming?
I got on a ship and I came here
Uh, why'd you leave the farm though?
because there was a ship. Well, they said it was coming to the Realms Tower, but I didn't know what that was. But they tell me that's what this place is called. No? Did your parents know you got on the ship? Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Isn't that what everybody did?
I mean, that's kind of what you did, Corvus. Yes, that is what most people do. So your story makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay. I didn't have any shackles. Was I supposed to have shackles?
Oh, only some people. You know,
Okay.
for VIP people get shackles.
So his name is Shiv, right? Or Shiz?
Hmm.
But you call him Tongues. Did do you not know his name is Shiz?
Yes, you can call me
I I don't think I can do that either, but I can say Shiz.
Tongues is like a tournament of endearment because we're crewmates already. You know, you give crewmates like call signs. Yeah, I mean, quartermaster probably. Qu- Quartermaster tongues.
Oh,
That's what they'll
so I
call me.
can be Captain Marvo Carius.
How about second mate? We've already got a captain. Huh? That, that's not a. It's not really lame. Not really much used for gardening on a ship.
Okay, I'm gonna eat my berries now.
I think you upset him. I can't tell though.
I'm just hungry.
How can he be hungry? He's eaten like 12 of those berries, and one's enough to fill you up.
As far as you can tell, he's always eating one of those berries. They're like with him all the time. He's like walking down the hallway eating them.
So, Jungus,
Nas,
I heard that you got apparently exiled for wanting to learn magic.
I am going to learn magic. They exiled me because they are jealous.
Eh, nice to hear that. What I heard was a slight change there. How's the warm clothes doing for you?
Still not warm enough. Though I am told there is a spell called heat metal. I am hopeful that I will learn it and finally be warm.
Yes, well, I believe that Ivana or Eldrana will be able to assist in that regard, at least for the time being until you can learn it yourself.
I will speak to her of this. Do you think Adriana will help me?
And if you approach her correctly, and also don't tick her off.
I will take these words to heart.
All right, I'm glad to have helped.
Anybody
Like,
else talking to other folks, interacting, doing things? Yeah, there's basically big one big long table. He keeps back with her all the time, like always, usually on her shoulder. So yeah, it's hanging while she's eating. Yes, that's the weasel name. It's a pet. I found him. I saved him. He was hurt, and he's been with me ever since. 2 years ago. Bing sits up and says, I had a pet once. No, no, no. We eat the goats and the sheep. No, I had an owl.
I just sorry not to interrupt, but I just realized we never really did like introductions and what everyone looks like. Do you have like a portrait page for all the player characters?
Oh, I do. You are correct. I did not bring that up. 1 second. This is a good time for that. Let's just go around the table and everybody can kind of go over the physical description of your character. So we'll start top left corner with Corvus. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Corvus, go for it. How tall is Corvus? Okay, I have to keep that in mind as I'm visualizing things. Okay, Torbrand.
Torrand is human, a bit over 6 feet tall, and kind of wiry build, I guess. He's got um, a sort of reddish brown hair, um, down not quite to his shoulders, and blue gray eyes. He has I I don't actually know if we're supposed to carry weapons around. So in theory, he has a couple of swords on his belt. He's dressed in clothes that are sort of not fancy but well made, but also well worn. Like they've seen sort of a fair amount of use. They've been worn through a lot of travel, and he likes to keep his hands busy. So he's usually shuffling a deck of cards, rattling some dice around, or just fidgeting.
Okay. Let's see. Top right corner. Shiz. Shiz, are you there?
I'm sorry. What was that?
Top right corner.
Oh,
Shiz, you want to give your physical description?
yeah. So Shiz is he's a young, he's like 17, 18 years old, blonde tea, very pale skin. You notice he's got like slight, like barely noticeable scales around his eyes, down the back of his neck, like the back of his hands. But he has very pronounced, like, snake-like eyes, with like marble yellow. He's got white hair atop of his head. Typically prefers to wear red, but obviously is forced to wear navy blue. Is not happy about it. He normally has a snake pet with him, but he lost his when he got imprisoned. So he'll get a new one and name it Smiles. And that's Smiles in the picture.
Okay. And then Tarnos, bottom right corner.
Oh, we're doing it clockwise. All right.
Yep.
Uh, Tarnas is a fairly above. He's above average height for humans. In fact, he's probably a little bit taller. But he's not actually human as he has pale blue skin, sort of blue glowing eyes with white scruffy um sort of cut for his hair, as he is a Azamar, and typically he is as the image there is in his armor with his two swords there, but obviously can't be in that sort of attire while we're here at the Imperium Academy. So that's him.
Okay. And Sigrid. Sigrid.
Yeah.
I think I said
Sigrid.
that right. Sigrid.
Yeah.
Sigrid.
Sigrid.
Okay, got it.
It doesn't matter.
Sorry.
um, yeah, Sigrid is a young human woman about 24. She is about 5'6". She has pale, fair skin and long auburn hair to about her like mid back. Um, she has hazel eyes, and her clothes before having to wear the Imperium uniform were kind of like Torbrand said, they're not super duper expensive, but they are well made and nicer than what you would probably see like the common folk wearing.
Okay. And then to the bottom left, Dominicus.
So Dominicus, he is 6 foot exactly. He is bald, um, and he he does not look it. He looks quite a bit older than he actually is, but he is only 22, and he usually wears loose-fitting robes with a small coin with the symbol of Tamora on it. Um, he also carries everything he owns around with him all the time.
Okay. So as you're finishing up your lunch, Willem. Oh, go ahead. No, Willem was back at the barracks after you guys got back there. And Willem's back at the table today and was in class. And Willem kind of looks around and says, "So where did everyone come from? I don't think any of you else are from Eberron, are you?" Kirkton pops up and says, "I'm from Athos. You've never been there. No one has."
Hmm. I think Bellum's also from Eberron. Wait, that's who was talking. Never mind. I don't know where I'm from. I'm from the Imperium, one of the astral ports. If you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Frank pipes up. "I'm from one of the ports. You've heard of the garden?"
Oh, sure, yeah. Plenty of people have come through there.
"Yep. My family runs part of it. I grew up there on a Spelljammer port. Can't wait to get to my own ship."
Sounds like you got competition, Corvus.
I hail from Toril, but Valkyr and the Bright Ladies set me on my way, and now I'm in the stars.
Ficus looks up. He says, Ficus was in an abyssal prison. He fought in the Blood War, but the Imperium saved him. And I'm not going back."
Sounds reasonable.
I get it. Conscientious objector. Respect.
"No, no, no. I was captured. I was a soldier. Ficus doesn't like to talk about the Blood War."
What happens in the Blood War stays in the Blood War.
Aren't all wars blood wars? What about the rest of you? Sigrid? Baroness? Dominicus? Corvus doesn't remember.
I come from a prestigious plant in the Emporium, and I don't really feel like I should be mentioning where from exactly just yet.
Mysterious.
Um, I'm I'm also from Toril. Uh, was looking to leave and was advised to come here. So
That makes a lot of sense. A lot of people in the Imperium have ties to Torel, because of Shulong and all.
Ivog pipes up. I grew up on Toril. Have you heard of the spine of the world? That's where my Goliath tribe was.
this the spine of the world, is that what it was?
The spine of the world, yes. It is a deep, rocky set of crags that divide the Sword Coast from the cold lands in the north. It was a great place to grow up and move away from. And that is why I am here.
That explained nothing, but neat.
Yes, I've heard stories from some of my family about the spine of the world and the tribes that live there.
They are very dumb.
And they really like fighting, I understand. Even when it's not a good idea to fight.
Bing pipes up. I grew up near Waterdeep.
Holy shit, there's like, what, 5 of you from Torel now?
Yes, how near?
Well, there was a ship from Waterdeep up, so, quite a few of us were on it. No surprise.
Trust me, if you'd grown up on Toril, you'd want to get off it too. Especially, never mind.
That
Bing,
was Brink that said that.
No, Bing.
Okay,
Bing,
my bad.
Bing says, yeah, dollars to donuts. Our first mission will probably be to Toril. We're bound to pick up something there.
Just hope we don't run into anyone I know. Well, one person I know.
What about the high
Yeah,
and mighty
Sigurd
big...
looks very Sigurd looks very apprehensive when he mentions the first mission tutorial.
Well, I come from Orth. That's where my great 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 grandfather formed part of the government there. We've been part of it for centuries.
And that's the famous one of you?
Well, we're all famous.
Are you, though?
Then what are you famous for?
I am the youngest caster of the Bigby clan to ever join the Imperium.
And has anyone else in the Big U clan ever joined the Imperium?
About a century ago, one of my ancestors did, but they were much, much older. They did not have the skill to join at my age.
Now, that's not really a, how should I put
Where
it,
did
high bar.
Bixby say that they came from?
Orth,
I mean, all I had to do to join the academy was get arrested. So,
Yeah, maybe I should start introducing myself as the youngest member of the Linden Shield clan ever to join the Emporium.
But no one would ever know who the Linden Shield clan was.
no one knows who the
Unlike the
Bigsbys
Bigby.
are.
It shouldn't be Bixby, it should be Bigby. I have a misspelling here.
Oh, I
Sorry.
assume she was like a branch family of the Big B.
No, no, that's actually Bigby.
Started a country, invented a spell. According to her, at least.
Well, he was one of the founders of Greyhawk. Invented much of the magic that's practiced these days. He's changed the course of history of the entire multiverse. Ah, yes, because I completed my wizardry coursework early.
Find familiar. Yeah.
I just have difficulty with one spell. I can assure you it's not a big deal.
What I don't
All
understand is
wizards have it.
why you do all that learning to cast magic? Just do it. And like I'll cast a little illusion of a I don't know, like a snake on the table, serpentining.
Illusions are not the type of magic that I worry about.
Oh, that's not my point. My point is like I didn't have to learn to do that. I just do it.
Yes, well, I can learn to do things and create new magics. Can you create new magics? I think not.
Is it really creation or is it just discovering something that magic can already do?
There is an entire book written on just that subject.
Ugh, books.
All right,
At
lay off. She's
this
got a
point,
point.
the bells go off for the 1 o'clock bell. It's time for the combat training deck.
Diddle-a-loo.
Enough talking. Let's see if any of you know how to fight. Almost as good as gambling.
Wait, we have to fight?
They said it was the combat training deck. If there's no combat, I'm going to be very disappointed.
More than likely, this is just going to be us doing exercises.
That's even worse. Hey, I got an idea. I just want to throw by you, Corvus. What if you wait off about the bads? You have a great session, like really impress him with your hard work, and then once got some warm feelings towards you, then you ask for the favor. Yeah, gotcha. I mean, just we haven't been around each other like a terribly long time, but like that's pretty much like 100% the way you've operated, like up until this point. So
Okay, so you arrive at the combat training deck. This room seems to be equipped with targets and dummies and beams and weapons. There is part of a ship. There are ballistas. There's even one part of the room that seems to be set aside for cooking. Master Graves waits patiently at the head of the room. All the cadets, fall in, please. Fall in.
I fall over. I mean, in.
Okay. Today we're doing athletics and acrobatics tests. We're going to see how each of you perform in doing some of the types of duties that you might actually have to do on board a ship. So, first of all, we're going to do ladder tests. Over to the right of the room, there are 3 ladders. Everyone get in a line behind a ladder. Okay, everybody needs to climb the ladder as fast as they can and then get back down to the bottom. Um, for mechanics, we're going to be using an athletics check to see how well you do on the ladder.
Yay.
So, looks like we've got Tarnoth, Corvus, and Dominicus. So, up the ladder you go, and everybody go ahead and give me an athletics check, please.
Quick question. Uh, uh, I am a monk. Can I can I use acrobatics instead, or is it hard? Do I have to do athletics?
This is athletics.
Okay.
We'll get to acrobatics in a minute.
Yep, that's about right. Yeah, Dominicus, we're doing it.
Okay, so we're doing Tarnos, Corvus, and Dominicus, right?
Ye-
So Tarnos and Corvus do almost exactly the same, and Dominicus not so much.
Uh, can I expend my inspiration to take the 9 instead?
You can, yeah, you can do that.
Great.
What is it? No, we're not doing that on this one. We'll get there. No worries. Okay. Okay, so next 3 to step up. Looks like we got Shiz, Sigrid, and I'll do Pendulum.
Let's go, Pendulum. Let's go.
Okay, so athletics check.
Oh, oh, the first one.
Oh, where did Shiz? You got
I'm sorry, I rolled
oh,
mine earlier, so it must
okay.
be 2.
Okay.
Damn
So
it, that
surprisingly,
sucks.
so surprisingly, Pendulum comes out looking good on that one.
Yeah, that's why I did it. I wanted to make Pendulum look good. Totally what happened.
Brain Camillum, and is there any who hasn't gone yet? Torbrand. Okay.
She shoots you the dirtiest look that you have probably ever received.
Parnas is just going to smirk and chuckle softly.
Okay, and do we get Torbrand? Okay, got it. Cool. Actually, you beat Brink. Brink looks amazing, but he's showing off. You beat him, Torbrand. Okay, very good. Sergeant Graves then kind of lets everybody else cycle through, and he says, "Okay, the next test will be acrobatics. You have to go down each of these balance beams, one to the north and one to the south here, from end to end."
Might as well get it over with.
You will each make 2 acrobatics check. If you succeed on DC 10 for both, you'll make it down there and back without falling.
I
Right.
fail on both of them.
One more, Corvus. One more check, Corvus. Okay, so you fall off on, and and Sergeant Graves is just shaking his head at this point. Okay, next up.
And this is where I
This
fail.
is how it's done.
I
Oh,
Very
fucking
nice.
Torbrand.
I say I'm going to expend uh, both of my luck points to give myself advantage on this
Okay,
on both rolls.
Yeah, I managed to get a 20, so I'll take
very
that.
nice.
Oh, wait a minute, my second one. Ah, there's my second one. I failed.
Very nice. Okay, Sergeant Graves. You can see him writing in his book. Um, he basically has you continue to repeat these tests for the rest of the afternoon, running up and down the ladders, running across these beams, trying to teach you different uh, techniques for keeping your balance, showing you how to use your arms and hands on ladders, um, all of those sorts of things, running you up and down the ladders. And at the end of the session, he turns you over to go back to the barracks. And I think that's the end of our session for today. We will
Yeah.
pick it up there next time.
Yay. We made it through part of day 1.
Yep, you got through day 1.